Good morning. It's your boy Ron Graham, aka Ron G, coming to you live and direct with another plug and play for today. Power play, pay play for today. 3. We're going to get into not 1, not 2, but 3 businesses that you can start for under, that's right, 10 stacks. Under, that's right, 10 stacks. I said it. Let me just take a quick sidebar for a minute and tell you one of the reasons why I think this is a very timely video. A couple milestones this past week, one of which I think I've shared, obviously, but I will, 2 milestones I said. 22 years of marriage, which again, it's like a blur, which means that's a good thing. 22 years of marriage and a blur. That has to mean that's a good thing. So that's one. And then this past weekend, this past Saturday, I hung up the keys in the radio, and the punch for the final time. I called it a career on the railroad. And I do want to say this. It wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. And I really think that I underestimated the connections, the bonds, the brotherhood, the sisterhood that was forged over a decade in this industry. And I really do have to admit that I can see why some of the guys and girls work a little bit past their time. And when I say time, just meaning that they could obviously retire. And it's not always as monetary as it may appear. A lot of it is like I said again, that brotherhood, that accountability, those types of strong bonded relationships that are forged, and they're not to be taken for granted. And so I just want to say on this channel, once again, thank you to all my brothers and sisters out there in the railroad doing what you guys do, especially reaching out to NS, Norfolk Southern, and Amtrak, where I spent my entire career. So without further ado, I do want to say this, and this may not be for everybody, but provided that it is, and you are in a position where you are ready to start something that you know you should be able to do and not have to spend an awful ton of cash doing it. So I wanted to do this special video today, what I think timing is great. And I do want to also make a disclaimer here on this channel. I will promise you one thing. I will never, ever, ever talk about resources and businesses or anything on this channel. 1, that I don't believe in. 2, that I haven't done or am in the process of doing. Or 3, not have an intimate inside track on what this is, whatever I'm talking about. I'm never gonna do it here, because it's not about getting clicks. This Network Nation channel was specifically laid out to grow the net worth and the value of my listeners. And the reason is that we already understand there is a crisis. We have a crisis in this country primarily because the reality of it is we are underfunded, we are underinsured, we are under business, we're under cash flow. And so, we can always sit here and talk about the problems, but I dedicated myself on this channel to talk about not just the problems, but the solutions. So the very first thing I want to talk about is the top 310. And I say top 3. And the reason why is because these are the things that I did. So I'm biased to them. Number 1, you love animals, you love pets. You have a nice, warm, loving home. You have water, the capability to provide food. Maybe every now and then to administer medication, maybe pill or something, or liquid to put in the food. Then you can do this business. You can start a pet sitting business literally before you get off this video. It's that simple. All you have to do is set up the house, get things ready, maybe relocate a little furniture here and there. You get all the family members involved. That's right, all of them involved. You come up with a nice little catchy name. You take some beautiful pictures. If you have pets already, which you probably do, you take pictures of your pets. You take lots of pictures of different things that you're doing with the pets. You give a little bio about yourself, and you be genuine. You have to sound genuine about the love and all the things, the way you feel about pets. And you start to create your bio, and all you have to do is pick up the phone and make a call or apply online. One of the particular companies, there's a lot of them out there, but one of them out there in particular, www.rover.com. You get in there, put your information in there. They'll respond back to you within days. They'll ask you several questions. They'll do a little background check, make sure there's nothing terrible in your file. You know, of course, no abuse, no animal abuse, things like that. And you're pretty much off to the races. And if you spend maybe $400 or $500 to get started, and I say that, you know, honestly, because you may have to go out and get some extra bowls, you may have to go out and get a couple extra crates or some extra blockages to keep animals in certain parts of the house. You may have to buy some squeaky toys and frisbees and balls and different things like that. You know, I don't know. Do you want to get a logo to put on the side of your van or car? I mean, that's way down the road. That's after you've built and established yourself. But literally, maybe $1,000, and I'm just being extra because some people may be a little extra. That's it. That's it. You're up and running, guys. It's literally from the time I finished saying this, you're up and running under 10 cash. Net worth mind builder business number 2, under $10,000. Yep, under 10. We're sitting in one of them. It's called a liability. We talked about this on a few podcasts back. But how do you turn a liability like this vehicle into cash? Very simple. You clean it up, you tune it up, you shine it up, you sanitize it, you take tons of pictures, depending on your market, where you are. You know, if you're in the city, you get that little backdrop of the city. You know, you may, if you're in New York, you go down to Brooklyn Promenade. If you're in Chicago, you go out there by the Sears Tower. If you're in California, you hit the Strip. If you're up in the Great Lakes, you take a few pictures off the lake. You know, down here in South Florida, you know the routine. You know, I'm telling it like it is. You take your little photographs, your pictures. You talk a little bit about yourself and how important it is for you to be of service to people and providing accommodations for people. People love genuine people. And you go to www.turo.com. That's one of them out there, one of the main ones out there. You create your bio, your profile, and get your pictures out there, like I said, and they'll get back to you shortly. And you tell them the make and model of your car. And if I'm correct, they'll go back even like 7, 8 years on a vehicle, if I'm correct. And if they don't do it right then, maybe your first vehicle may have to be 5, 6, 7 years old. But I think once you become a host on the platform, then you can add vehicles as you go, because there's some people that have specialization vehicles that are older, you know, like, you know, classics on there. And what makes it so beautiful is that the business is there. It's already there for you. Just like in Rover, these clients are already there. They're driven by your zip code. And so all of the people in that area that are looking to come into that area or have pets or in that area have a vehicle. And here's another power play plug. If you're somewhere located by any kind of international airports and things like that, you know, just provide the service, you know, to the airports and different places like that. Make it convenient for your clients. But that's enough. That's all I need to say about it. It's that simple. www.turo.com. That's it. The third one, I'll stay in the transportation field as well. Again, under 10,000. It's called the courier. It's a courier expediting service, which basically you get what they call a Sprinter van. And whether you lease it or rent it or whatever you do, and you basically run deliveries. You could become an extra for Amazon. You can get affiliated with some of these medical supply companies, these non-emergency medical supplies. You can attach yourself to some of these couriers that are doing local. I mean, if you're really interested and you're really trying to make some serious money, you can do it what we call over the road, and that's basically meaning you're driving around different cities and states. And I know I mentioned you don't have to quit your day job to do some of these things, so you could potentially go into it with somebody else, and maybe that person does the driving and you know, work out all of the administration type of things. But again, like I said, under 10 stacks, a courier service where you take a liability like a van and you flip it and you spin it into a cash cow flow. And I mean, it's not hard to do, guys. This is something where you get the trucks inspected, vehicles inspected. I mean, gas, oil changes, the basics, stuff you're going to do anyway. You're going to do this anyway. You're going to drive anyway. You know what I mean? Some of you have pets already. You know what I mean? So what I'm talking about is not rocket scientist stuff, but it's very practical. And they're very inexpensive businesses to start. Now, listen, let's be real. Yes, we can get into these businesses under $10,000. That's the key. You want to get in the game. Now, are there going to be other expenses over time that, you know, may cost you? Sure, of course. Of course. But remember, all you want to do is to get in. Once you get in and you start generating income, now you can go ahead and continue to build the business the way you want to. The problem that we're having is that most people are not starting businesses because, one, they're overthinking it. And two, the end cost is too high. If you look at these franchise.coms, they're just too high. Who the heck has 2 years of bank statements or 2 years of bank statements or $50,000 to $100,000 to start up? Most people don't have that. They don't. You know, I don't have it. I didn't have it. I still don't. So the point I'm making to you guys is that these three things under 10 stacks, you can start them literally today before the video is over. And I'm going to give you one more. This one is a very under the radar business, but you can start your own literal if you have the love for it. I'm not going to push any business, one that you don't care about, but if you have the love for really helping people with their financials, with their portfolios, with their you know, with their estate planning, things like that, basic stuff, you can do that also under 10,000. I invested in my financial services business. You know, I went out there, I got my license under 10,000. Spent a few $100s to get licensed. I also went out and got certifications. That's a few $100s, not a lot. Get the certifications. You take the continuing education. It wasn't like going to college, like my daughter, spending thousands of dollars, like my cousin, thousands of dollars to go to law school and all that. No, these are certification courses. Every state has them. You get your state license, and then you learn how to build people's wealth through like life insurance policies, annuities, you know, IULs. Those are the three basic things that I work with. I don't touch nothing else. I stay in my lane, but those three things. And if you love talking to people and you love helping people grow their income from zero to nothing, from 0 to 100, excuse me, get into it. Get into the final the 215 license, you know, and if you know, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with that either. So again, we're talking about three power play things. Get at me. click my link below, get on my calendar. We can talk about exactly more detail. I know I summarized a lot of this. I do have more details if you need it. If this is something that interests you, come and get at me. I'm Ron G. I'm your boy. I'm always here for you. Trust me on that. I am 24/7, 7 days a week. Right? I got my time back. I'm retired from the railroad. I'm free. Free. I'm your boy. Love y'all. Peace. Talk to you soon.